Hi there and welcome to Monday Mindsets. I'm Mark Peebles here to help you get your mindset right for the week. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is at It's Mark Peebles. That's where you're going to get Monday Mindsets. You're going to get the Real Life and Real Estate podcast and all kinds of other great content. So go ahead and subscribe there or follow the Real Life and Real Estate podcast wherever you get your podcast, and you'll receive these Monday Mindsets as well. Recently, we were looking back at some of our original Monday Mindsets. You know, we've been at this almost 5 years now, so we wanted to share with you some of our favorites. So enjoy.
Well, hey there, and welcome to Monday Mindsets, episode 21. You know, I'm so glad that you're taking the time to get your mindset right for this week. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hey, if this is encouraging to you, consider posting it on social media or send it to a friend via email or text. We would certainly appreciate that, but really, we hope it will be an encouragement to them as well. Today, we're going to talk about the mindset of entrepreneurship, and I'm going to actually make this 2 parts, and that's because recently I was at a conference where we were given a challenge coin. On one side, it says entrepreneurship, and on the other side, it says stewardship. And the reason that it's on both sides is the speaker said that entrepreneurship and stewardship are 2 sides of the same coin. So this week, we're going to talk about the spirit or the mindset of entrepreneurship, and next week, we'll talk about stewardship. But I love what it says about entrepreneurship on this coin. It says to create, organize, and manage an enterprise with considerable initiative and risk. I believe that if you want to dream big dreams and do big things, that you need to have a mindset of entrepreneurship. So as I think about what this says, create, organize, and manage an enterprise with considerable initiative and risk, I think about the disciples who were with Jesus the day that he ascended back into heaven. It's in Matthew 28. It's one of the Gospels in the New Testament of the Bible. And Jesus tells them there to go into all the world and to basically spread the message about him, the good news, the gospel, and baptize them and make disciples. In other words, make others who are like me and accept and receive the message about me. He then ascends into heaven. He says, I'll be with you always, but all of a sudden, he's gone. And for the disciples to go and do what he said, which was all the world, it was going to take considerable initiative and risk. You know, today there are over 1 billion or billions of Christians on this planet. And those billions of Christians started with just those 120 that were there on the day that Jesus ascended into heaven. And I really think that they probably had an entrepreneurial mindset. They didn't have a manual to tell them how to build a church or start a church or, go into various unknown places and share this message. They had watched Jesus do it a lot, but they had never seen it done on quite the scale that it was about to happen on. And so they had to create and organize and manage this enterprise. But there was a lot of initiative involved, a lot of putting one foot in front of the other and going to that next town, and there was a ton of risk. In fact, you know, they talk about the 12 disciples. Of the 12 disciples, 11 of them were killed in terrible ways. They were persecuted and they ended up dying in these crazy ways. Peter, for example, was hung upside down on a cross. I would say that doing what they were asked to do that day, it was a ton of risk. You know, that's looking at how the message of Christianity, the message of Jesus was spread. But you know, you have dreams, you have things that you want to accomplish, that you want to achieve, and you've been called to. Because I believe God places in our heart desires to do certain things. And He gives us vision and He gives us dreams. So, are you willing to take the initiative and the risk to see those dreams become reality? Because if those disciples all that time ago had not taken that risk, then I probably wouldn't be sitting here today talking to you about what's in this book, the Bible. So it's pretty incredible what happened there and what is carried through to today. But what will your legacy be like because of the things that you do, that you were called to, because you had a mindset of entrepreneurship and a willingness to take the initiative and the risk? My challenge to you today is to take your big dreams and the big things that you want to do and take initiative and take risk in order to see your calling fulfilled and your legacy brought to life in future generations. I know you can do it. Next week, we're going to talk about the other side of the coin in stewardship. But for now, have a great week.